sometimes get worried when everyone is applauding what you posted, what you talked about.
Is posting alone enough?
Most of the funny things we did never came to light.
We forget to show up as real human beings.
Do you have a brand crisis plan? Why will you impact 10,000 who don't give you anything? Yet you can impact 2 people who can actually change your life for the better.
Welcome back, guys, and I hope you have been well. Welcome back to this episode. This is Careers with Nellie, the space where I share with you content on job search, career development conversations. We also have workplace conversations, of course, to help you build a rewarding and fulfilling career. If you're here for the first time, or if you're bumping on this video for the first time, my name is Nellie and I am a HR practitioner. I'm passionate about professionals and job seekers in whatever space that you are in. As I always say, that my mission in this platform is one, just to help you make those quality decisions that will make you, or rather help you build a career that you truly love. So today's conversation, guys, is about social media and digital footprint and how that can influence your success in the corporate space, in your work. I know social media is not a topic that is new to any of us, because if you're watching this video, you're obviously on social media. You're obviously on a social media platform. But again, do we ever stop to think about how social media, how our digital footprint, how our presence in the different spaces where we are on social media impact our career? Do we ever think of how we can leverage or use this social media to just to our advantage when it comes to our careers as professionals? So for this conversation, I have a guest on set, and my guest is a guru in that space, in the social media space. So my guest today is a social media marketing consultant and a trainer. And of course, she's a digital and personal branding specialist. And of course, with that background and her experience in social media, understanding the digital space, there couldn't be any other better person to speak about this topic today. So, Janet, thank you for honoring my invite.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And welcome to Careers with Nellie.
Oh, amazing. I can't wait for the conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'd love for you to introduce yourself. Of course, I know I have introduced your bit, but of course, just introduce yourself. Tell our audience what you do, of course, beyond what I've said or anything that you feel I've left out, why you do what you do, and why should they listen to you?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
As she has said, actually she did amazing when it comes to introducing me. Maybe I can add a few things. I am the founder of ATC Digital Academy, which is a training hub where we train on soft skills, be it personal branding, marketing, communication, and any other soft skills you might think of when it comes to helping you get access to the right network, right people, right job, and also be able to present yourself in a way that makes you more approachable, highly recommendable, and at the same time selected among the many people on the digital platforms. So I hope today I'll be able to share the nuggets.
Wow, you become selectable, you become the best among the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, and of course, I felt it was important to have this conversation because now, in this age and era where social media consumes much of our time than even most things. I don't know if there's anyone in this age and era. There could be people, of course, but majority of the Kenyan or even the African or the global population, social media use is everywhere. Yeah, so I think for this conversation, it's important that we just want to help our audience understand how do they use the gadgets that we have, the platforms, the TikToks, the YouTubes that we are in, which are very good spaces.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're really lucky to be in this time, but how can we take advantage of what we have to even become better people? You know, that the way we used to find jobs in the 19s or the 2000s is different. Yeah, kitambo, you know, you could go to a cyber to apply for a job. But now I can just apply for a job right now on my phone. Yeah, you had to travel all the way, maybe to the farthest part of the country to go and do interviews. But now we are having interviews done online, virtually. We are even having people working remotely and all that. So then there's a lot that is happening around with the advancement in social media and all that. Yeah, so I think as we start this conversation, we just want to understand there's this narrative of our digital footprint being the new CV. Yeah, and what I mean is that today, if someone, even the way I invited you to come over, it was so easy to get every information about me. And it's the same thing I did, of course, just Google up Janet Machuka, I see what you've done. And I said, now, this is the person I need to have on board to talk about social media and the digital footprint. So it's ideally our new CV because all our information can be accessed just at a click.
Absolutely.
Yeah, today if you're looking for a job, we're told that employers Google you. I am an employer, I am a talent acquisition person, and I Google candidates every other day. Yeah, but I would like to understand, again, in your experience, or rather with your knowledge on social media, couldn't there be a bias in this approach? Because if you Googled information about me, you get information about me 5 years ago. What if I've changed?
Good.
The person I was 5 years ago most likely is not who I am today. So how, again, I understand, of course, social media is here and the digital footprint is here. We're not running away from it. But how do we get that balance, again, to ensure there's no bias, especially when we're looking out for candidates, when we are searching out even maybe for business partners and all that?
Good. I will try and respond to that question in two ways. One, as someone who also sometimes searches for people to work for particular projects. And two, as somebody who is expecting to be searched or found.
Yeah.
Because that's what most of us constantly look forward to. Can someone find me?
Yeah.
So from a point of how do you change, like how do you make sure that you are findable?
Yeah.
How do you make sure that you are easily found with the right information? Because most of the time, the problem is not being found. It's being found with the right information that you expect, that helps you to be able to access that particular job, or if it has to be a contract, an opportunity in overall. So I have been in this space for quite some time. And someone was actually jokingly saying, if you say 10 years of experience, you can have the 10 years of experience, but what is the actual thing that you have really experienced? And I think that it narrows down to that exactly. What have you done in these years of experience? Remember, there's a way you presented yourself year one, year two. And remember, we keep on saying, learn constantly. When you're learning, are you adding something into you? If you're adding something, go back to the footprint that you had already put somewhere out there. If it has to be on LinkedIn profile, add something to what you have added 2 years, 3 years down the line. Because at the end of the day, if you search on AI recently, if you ask, for example, okay, this person you said has been in this space for 8 years. Tell me, what have they been doing for 8 years? Imagine if you have only what you were doing year one. So do you think people will select you?
No.
And other people have written what they have been doing over the years. So how do you find yourself selected easily or findable, and also with the information that is needed? At the end of the day, I feel like it narrows down to you as an individual who is looking for these opportunities. Because if you are very sure you want an opportunity to run maybe a comms development somewhere, or you want to run a campaign strategy in the health space. So the question is, how do you add some of the information that can optimize your profile to be findable if someone searches in that aspect? not just from the social media platforms, but now we are talking about the AI context.
Yes.
How do you present yourself? And in the past, we used to say, oh, just have a one-pager profile.
Yeah.
You can do even up to 10 right now.
Yeah, because
People
again,
do
with
a lot
10
of
years
things.
of experience, so how is the profile going to be one page?
It's
with all that?
huge.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
But the question is, at the same time, as much as you continue these years of experience, as you go to year 2, year 3, year 4, you're going to narrow down to that specific thing that you're going to love.
Yeah.
So every other things that you're going to do in terms of showing up in podcast, if you're showing up in podcast, in speaking engagement, should help that identity that you're trying to create for that particular opportunity to be recognized or spoken about.
Yeah.
That way, you move away from, for example, most of the people know me as an influencer, because that is how I started, honestly. My digital career started as an influencer. But yes, I'm still an influencer because I can collaborate and partner with businesses to sell or share about their products.
Yes.
But I'm not just an influencer. No, that is why people will ask, okay, we know you as an influencer, but we see you doing other things. Do you mind representing yourself and tell us more?
Yeah.
But you can't constantly meet people and tell them about what you do. It goes back to where do you write it? The importance of having a central point where you can add more and more information about you over the years. Okay. The best solution will be a website. Even if it has to be a static website, you don't have to add more information. Just let it be there as your place to add more information about you. But the best also is LinkedIn. But not just LinkedIn. If you look at all the other platforms, they're trying to give more space for extra bio. More information about you, not just that bio that we write for 15, 100 words and that's it. Do you use that space well? How often do you go back to it to review it? Because one thing about what you will search as a recruiter and find, you'll find what I've put there. But imagine if I edited and I want you to find a refined information or details about the skills that I've acquired over the years. You will get it if I have added it. So in terms of the recruiters, I think it narrows down to also not just searching and finding, because one of the things I usually do sometimes when I'm searching for people for conversations on X, I go to maybe Gemini or ChatGPT and I ask, please recommend for me the kind of speakers that I can have for this particular session.
Yes.
And I have, let me say,
that.
So I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have different topics and different sessions at different times, but it keeps on getting you that same person over and over again. You should ask yourself, what has this person done that they need to be part of this conversation? And that is why you went ahead and dug deeper about me, and you had to choose me. It's the same thing that happens in the corporates when they're hiring. So the question is, what do you do extra? And that extra that you have done, can we read it from those platforms? But again, these platforms have some biasness because they will choose me over and over again, they leave out the rest.
Yes.
How will the other people be known who maybe they are better than what I'm doing at that particular time and this particular thing that I'm being looked out for? And that is now what that narrows down to what do we do as individuals also to ensure that whatever that we are feeding these tools, remember they're just tools. And a tool is supposed to make work easier for whoever is supposed to search for you. So how are we attaching our, if it has to be collaborations, if it has to be conversations with the key people and thought leaders in the industry to be able to be given as other suggestions? Because it happens. Most of the time when I look for the speakers I talked to you about, let me say Nellie became part of the top 2 people. But I'll be like, please give me more suggestions. High chances are they will give me people who have connected and interacted with Nellie, who are doing the same thing. So the way technology works, it works in a way that once it picks the central point, it's the same way when we do like analysis, and you ask it, what is the most talked about word? They will give you the main word, and then they will give you other related words that are talked about. So that's the same thing the technology helps search for individuals. If you're a recruiter and you're searching from that point of view. Even people, if you ask people and they know only Janet Machuka, And then you'll be like, yes, I know that, but do you have another person? They will think of, oh, there's someone I ever saw with Janet who talks about this, and I think they will be the right people. That's it.
So let me ask, especially when it comes to this bias, I think I like the part of, which I completely agree with you, updating, because again, you fed an information 10 years ago, and you 10 years ago has evolved over time. So I think what you're saying is that, of course, to reduce this bias, you really need to be very actively updating and ensuring that you put in the right information that you want to be known for.
Absolutely.
So I'll just link that with my next question. Of course, now we agree that people are being found online and opportunities find people online. If someone was looking for a digital marketer, if someone was looking for an influencer to work with their brand, they'll check and get you online. So in this era that opportunities are finding us online, and of course, when it comes to the professionals now, the people who are either looking for jobs, they're looking for consultancy assignments, they're looking for even business entrepreneurs also looking for different opportunities. Do you think the information, do you think we are representing ourselves well enough? And I'm asking this in the context of, is it just enough for me to, okay, today I've listened to this podcast, I've gone to my LinkedIn, I've updated, I've created a website, so then I just sit there. So is it enough? Is that enough that when opportunities come, when people are Googling and they find me, that I will most likely be selected? Is it just enough to have a profile there and now just wait for opportunities? Or is there anything that I need to do? How do I need to just position?
Most times when there's this also approach when people usually say, if we find you easily and you're the right person for the job, it means 10 million other people have found you the right one. So high chances are you are the busiest person. So let me look for an alternative. So digital is not the only place you can get opportunities. And I'll give you from a context of what I've been able to do to be able to make sure that I have an ecosystem where I market myself in a way that it just only doesn't depend on a specific place. I have built my first community, or rather my personal brand, I built it from X. And X, if I talk to you about X, or formerly Twitter, for those who don't know, they'll be like, that's not the real place to build a personal brand. They'll be like, it's so much chaos. There's so much that's happening on that space. You can't build. But I was able to do it. But again, I had to make sure that I have other supporting strategies to help that grow. And one of the things we really ignore a lot is the importance of meeting people physically. The importance of putting a real face in front of someone to believe, oh, you actually wear glasses.
You actually look the same way you look online.
You look the same as online. Oh, okay. We have seen a profile for over 5 years. You have tied your hair up. Or you can actually braid, you know, such. So how do you always step away from the digital platform to meet people physically? And if you're meeting them physically, how can you translate it to communicating that you actually met people? Now, this is where the aspect of photos come in, the videos come in, and whatever that you share. And another thing I usually think we usually forget a lot is that it's good to think of your professional life, honestly, on the digital platform. But again, do you know that if our life had to depend only on talking about professionalism, it would be so boring.
Of course.
It would be so boring, and then we will be like, we are just plastic. We are not real. So what are other things that can actually make you real? There's something that I learned about building yourself digitally. And that narrows down to the personality and values. And most of the times we can use the tools and hide our personalities. But when you add the reality of how it is, the way we usually say ground reality, the ground reality, when you bring it to the online space, sometimes it adds a value and a personality into you. There are things, for example, and this is something that I learned from some of the, for those who are looking at international, of course, digital is one of the things that you focus on, but it doesn't mean that you have to ignore your offline, because there are some people where international clients, they always want to see, what have you done offline? And just to give context, when we are looking for opportunities, maybe to attend an event, an NGO planned, and then we are filling some of the details, we want to be part of it, high chances are they always ask us, send us videos of what you have done offline.
Yeah.
Why do they ask that? Because they really want to understand if we are real humans, we do real stuff. Because online we can lie. The same way on social media. Tell me the last time you went online and cried and told them your problems.
Never.
You've never thought about that. But here you are, you're so perfect.
Yes.
But you have your own issues.
Absolutely.
So sometimes there's some moments you just put somewhere, and then in case they need visibility, you share them. And having said that, now back to what I was saying in terms of you being online versus you adding that aspect of value. In most of the meetings, having with these international clients, an example, of course, maybe UK, international actually is, Uganda is an international client. Don't even think about Europe. One thing I learned when you were doing the introduction, someone will be like, oh, I'm so-and-so, I work in this and this business, I have a wife, I have a kid. You're like, as an African, you're like, why are you telling me this? Like, this is none of my business. But that's something that I came to learn that changes the perception of the entire conversation. There's a value called family value, people value. Because the reason why they usually say that I came to learn is that they want to understand how cohesive are you when it comes to with people. A team in a business, as much as we usually say they're not our family members, it makes up a family tree in that particular business. So that is a value on its own, the teamwork aspect of it. So how do you present those values? You can say, yes, my value is kindness, but can we see how kind you are to people? So can you show that? If you can't be able to show that, it will be still hard for people to identify you for some of the opportunities. And friendliness. Most of the things that have helped me access some opportunities are the people I've met offline. Online, they will say, you are a tough person to deal with, because that is their perception. But when they meet me, they change their entire perception about me. So they will be like, oh, next time, even if I want something, I will reach out to Janet Machuka about that. So that the personality adds a value of friendliness, kindness, the way you treated people, the way you responded to people, the way you are so open to also help others. And I think that's another thing that I want to finalize with, helping people. The most important thing you can do to yourself as an individual when you're growing in your professional space is not being selfish.
Wow, I think that one calls for looking at the camera and just sharing, because I think I really love that.
Being selfish actually doesn't help anybody. You can be selfish, get all those opportunities the first year, the second year, and then the third year people will be like, yule nani? Atumtaki. So that is how people identify you. Be open. If the opportunity is enough for everyone, bring in people. If there are more opportunities that you are supposed to do and you have no capacity and you don't have time, bring another person. That way, people will always remember you for that kindness and unselfishness. Oh, I call it selflessness.
Selflessness. I really like the points, Janet, and I like the bit that you're focusing on us being real, like beyond the good profiles that we are showing up. Yes, we're going to update our profiles with our experience, what we have been able to achieve, who we are in terms of our careers, professions, our success, but we forget to show up as real human beings. So just having that profile alone is not enough if you cannot live and show people the kindness that you're talking about, if you cannot build a community of people who will identify you as a real person. So there's a call for showing up also just as a real human being, because we have AI profiles now. We are having people, we are generating photos from AI, and sometimes I was just wondering if I had an AI photo. Well, if you have it, it's okay. Then you meet me, I think it's completely different. So we are showing up as I don't want to get into that. So now the next question, and I'll link it. I'll just link it to what we've talked about. Of course, you've talked about showing up again, and also just bringing the real human side on social media. But now here is the catch for most professionals. Yeah, you ask me a tough questions that I'm gonna have to think about if I can ever come here and cry for you guys. No, maybe. But I think people want to, it is key because as people watch your content, as people interact with you, they want to also believe that you're human like them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But now, here's the catch. Most professionals fear showing up authentically, or rather will struggle showing up authentically and as they are, due to maybe either an imposter syndrome, or what I'm going to say will be used against me. Again, we are also struggling with what do I post, what should I not post, what will people think about me, how do we manage or rather deal with this imposter syndrome, which I really believe is a big area when it comes to showing up on social media. What will people think about me? What will, when I post this, is it good enough? How does it make me look like? How, even when it comes to giving our opinion on controversial issues around maybe political opinions, how do we manage that imposter syndrome?
Oh, wow. The most important and dangerous thing that a human being owns is a brain. Because the brain will either tell you, this is not gonna go left, and you go left, you think left, and this is gonna go right, and you go right, and that is it. And I think it narrows down to the kind of people who you have around you. But before we get into the people, is the kind of values that ground you, the kind of discipline you have, the kind of presentation values that you have written down, that this and this and this is what I want to present as. Because you can't be everyone and you can't be everything. You need an identity. And that identity, I know in the past people used to think identity as brand colors. Nowadays, identity has changed beyond the brand colors. It's more about how are you presenting that identity from the moment you open, and not even before you even talk, the way you show up. And then now the way you open your mouth and talk. And when you talk, what do you talk? What do you say? But now the problem comes in where at times there's something that is happening in the social media space. It's affecting everyone. And we have to talk about it, but we don't know how people will understand it. The beauty about the beauty about human being is that people will understand you differently. Don't expect someone to understand you the same way you understand yourself. There's a reason to why we were given exams. Same questions. Thousands of students. KCSE, KCPE. Someone scored an A, another one scored
a D. Okay.
We understand things differently. And that is one of the things you have to put in your mind. Whatever you're going to post out, don't expect everyone to understand you. And if everyone understands you, it means you need to look for another group who actually challenges your thoughts. So it's okay to fear what will people say. But again, sometimes it's good to push the limits. Unless you post, you won't know how people will react. So sometimes push the limits. But if it's very hard for you to push the limits, find a small group of people who have values that you have represented yourself with. And then when you write something and you want to talk about something, run it with them. So that ask them, how does this sound? Does it sound like me? Is it something that I'm going to get a lot of backlash? But again, I'll just try and make it in a very simple term. Since you grew up and the friends you had, have you ever had the perfect kind of relationship without issues in between?
No.
So why do you want the perfect relationship online? Why can't it just have ups and downs at times?
Because perception is key, and even in me remaining employable, how employers or potential employers will perceive me is key for me.
But of course, the challenges will always be there, right? But the perception is up to you how to build it. And now that narrows down to how do you counter the worst moments that you might have on the digital with you actually presenting the value. And now the help we talked about, adding the reality of who you are as a human being. And if you look at the moment, we're no longer talking about engagement. We're no longer talking about building influence on the digital, actually. We're focusing on authenticity and being real. Why? Because AI has confused our minds. We don't know what is true or what is not. Someone jokingly said this on LinkedIn. I was reading early in the morning. She was saying, if you are complaining about reading content that is super AI, why can't you just go and read a book? After you read a book, think about something on how you react to it. Don't look for the AI AI posts. And if you feel like people might think you're also another AI tool, because I think there's something some of us are having an issue. You have a very good thought out article or post, but when you read it, you feel like there's another AI generated post. And I think that is one of the things that is cropping up. It's making people feel like I don't have to post this. I don't want to share this. It's cliche. Someone will feel like it's already talked about. AI can generate the same thing as me. So why should I post? The beauty about your own voice is that someone can never take it. And that is where you hear people say, have a brand voice, have a personality. There's a way I speak, there's a way you speak. You can never speak the same. There's a way you're an HR professional. There's a way you can teach a team about presentation. And another coach teaches the same team about presentation. But the way they will understand,
it's completely totally different. So there's that, you have your uniqueness.
Exactly.
Whatever it is, that akamani, something small, the thing that differentiates you from everyone else.
Absolutely.
I really like that.
Look at it from the point of we ladies. We see someone wearing a dress, we love it. We want to go buy it. But we forget.
It won't look the same on you.
Thank you. Didn't come with the same body.
Yeah. Wow, I think that's very important. And now just to delve in again into authenticity, which I'm picking from your response. How do we remain authentic? And I like the example you've given, like you'll go and read a post and maybe it's 100% AI generated. You have your beautiful article that you've written and you start saying that this one even sounds better than mine. Then you're shelving your very good idea, or rather even putting it into AI and telling AI to make it for you. How do we not lose our voice, especially in this era of technology and AI being the one in questions? How do we not lose our voice and still remain authentic?
Let me note something first before I answer that. The major problem we have is that before we post that very nicely drafted thought or content we wanted to, we always think of how many likes will it have?
You're posting for likes, okay.
Yeah, how many views will this video have? You've already judged the outcome before you even think about, will this thing be helpful to whoever is going to be reading
even if it's just one person?
Even if it's one person. You don't need to change the
whole world.
The whole world. Some people say, I want to change the world. What do you mean by that? You do whoever that gets to be impacted by your change, well and good. You at least did something. So before you judge how that post should have the comments, should have the likes, think about that one person you're speaking to. And if you change from speaking to many to speaking to one, it becomes easier for you to not constantly think about, oh, am I real? Oh, why am I going to get more views? Oh, somebody creates another content in AI, gets more more views. I don't get more views. What can I do better? You end up judging yourself a lot. And then what does that impact you to? I'm not good. I can never make it. I've wasted my time. I'm spending a lot of time doing this. And then you drain yourself a lot. And now that imposter syndrome again comes back. It suppresses you. Being authentic is not something that someone will teach you. You just have to own it. It's something that you have to own by yourself. Because being authentic doesn't mean you getting, even if you have 10,000 followers, you're getting 100 likes, 200 likes, 1,000 likes every day. There are days you'll get 2. And that is the only people you have impacted. And be grateful.
Wow.
Why will you impact 10,000 who don't give you anything? Yet you can impact 2 people who can actually change your life for the better.
Wow.
Yeah. So look at it always from that point. Can I impact this person? Can I help this person? What am I doing to this life's person with this post?
Yes.
If I'm talking about my personal life and the struggles that I've gone through, are these struggles going to help this person understand that life is not an upward movement? Sometimes you have the lows. Yeah. And I think those are some of the things we never share because social media is so judgmental.
Yes, everyone looks good on social media. Social media looks, I think it's the only place where we are all successful.
Thank you.
Where we are all looking good. We don't have problems. We don't have problems here. Yeah,
but we do.
This space, everyone is good making it. Whether you just post next to you're posting a picture next to your pastor's car or someone else's car. Yeah. So I think I really love it because it is an area where most people will struggle with authenticity, and I am a big advocate of authenticity. And I love what you're saying, that there is one thing that is unique about you. One thing, even if it is just how you walk, how you talk, how you smile, how you react. So that one thing, just understanding and showing up in that consistently, which is very important. So I want to ask you a question again around especially building a brand on social media, which again is a big part of that digital presence or digital footprint. So, of course, in this age and era where we are, there's a high level, or rather high use of social media. People are posting, everyone will post, everyone will, people will want to position as authority. But again, I want to ask you, if I have to build a brand on social media, is it just about posting? Will it just be about creating content in whatever space? Or what more goes into it, just beyond, like I was telling you that days I was posting like twice on LinkedIn, and I said, no, it's not about just posting, but again. So how does it really play out? Is it just about posting? Is posting alone enough?
Can I tell you my scariest and most of the things that I fear with the digital and me being on the platform is growing so many followers to a point that everyone will think I'm too busy, I can't be reachable. And it's hard to get hold of her. And I think that is the worst place you can ever be. If you look at context of the celebrity, sometimes I try to understand the celebrity lifestyle in the US. And if you realize the more you get more influence, sometimes it's like you lose a lot of personal friends, personal touch with. There's a way people view you until you kind of feel lonely. Now it pushes you back to the indoors, staying alone. You don't have friends. You have a lot to share, but no one is there to share with. Because if you open your mouth, they're already judgmental. You have all these followers. You have all this influence. Influence is good. And people have to understand that we are here on earth. We don't. Sometimes I feel like we don't know what we are doing. We're just doing stuff, hoping for the best.
We're trying.
We're just doing stuff. We're
doing everything.
Yeah, we have goals. We just want to get to that goal. And if now go back to the branding, I want you to look at yourself as this. There's a point it will get in life we will expire, and in the expire I mean we will not be here anymore. Yeah. And you want to build a brand right now. Don't say, I want to build this brand in 2 years. So what will you do after 2 years? Because your brand is you. Is you, that living person breathing that oxygen. So if you will be alive after 5 years, what will you be building?
Because you want to build it now. So it is built. So what do you do
So
after that?
take your time. It's a step after the other. The best kind of way, this is my experience, but if you find it's okay sometimes the brand to grow rapidly and very fast, but find a way to ground yourself, to understand that there are some things you have to do, and don't put a lot of expectations if these expectations are not turning it into something that you wanted. For example, revenue. Because sometimes some of us really put pressure a lot in building this personal brand, but if we are asked, why are you building it? We don't have a response. And if we are asked, And then maybe some of us have a response, because I want to monetize it. So you want to monetize it, yes. So what will happen after you make that money? Like, do you sometimes sit down and ask yourself, okay, yes, I have built this brand, I get this money. What will I do after that? Yeah. Okay. And I think that is where you find that, I'm sorry to use this example, but I'm trying to, maybe from what I've seen, people grow within a certain period and then suddenly they're no longer there.
Is that now like the expiry period? Or?
Not in terms of now the kaput. I'm talking about in terms of, it's like we miss out on their value anymore. We don't care about them.
I've seen that happen.
It happens a lot in Kenya. And I think in Kenya is one of the most unique countries on how people deal with individuals. This month, the next 2 years, they will really talk about it. And then after 3 years, they're like, chana na yeye. So the question is, how do you make yourself not to be forgotten? And that is why sometimes I usually say this. If you can be able to find a way to build gradually, but sure, instead of rapidly, it makes you think about the people you started with from time to time. You won't just think about yourself. You won't just think about, I just want my brand. Because that brand of yours has people in it. Honestly, let's just be honest. You have built that brand, and then you have built it to a point that you feel like you've built it. You've got to give it a job, a referral, if not those people around you. So where is your community? I usually say a brand right now is that also community that you build. The people that you give those positive energies, you know. The person you hold, you grow with them. Even if sometimes an opportunity comes, you feel like, oh, I'm so busy right now, give this, they might be better than I. They will go and skyrocket. Give that person that opportunity. That act of kindness we said earlier. Some people actually come back and say thank you. And then when they say thank you, do you know they don't just say thank you? How do they say thank you? When they're building their personal brand, they will be mentioning your name. Doesn't that mean personal branding and you're growing your brand? Yes, it's growing your brand. So look at building your brand as a way of building your brand beyond you. Can there be a time you don't have to post? You don't have to think about another podcast, but somewhere, someone is just talking about your brand, your name. That's what I want you to think about when it comes to building your brand. So that there are days you won't post. You're so tired. You want a social media break. But someone somewhere is busy mentioning your name. So can you cause a ripple effect? Just think about you, a stone that is being thrown into a river. The water is so still. Do you make those ripple effects to other people? So that at the end of the day, if that ripple effect can affect, it's actually affected by the center already. But again, if it's been affected in a positive way, it will always remember where it came from. That's the same way sometimes we say, always remember where you come from. When you talk about your journey in your HR space, there are some individuals you never miss to mention. Why?
Because they impacted your life in one way or the other.
They had you. They were selfless about it. So how are you gonna also build that community of people who are going to pay it forward?
Wow. That is very touching, eh? Yeah, I think because we focus on, especially when you're building a brand, showing up consistently. And I like that you're being human and saying that there are days that it is not going to be possible for you to show up. There are days that you just want to wake up and sleep, like wake up but continue sleeping. You don't want to show up.
To me so many times.
So again, on these days when you can't post, when people can't see, can they still remember you? Or are we just building brands that people only think about you when they see that post? When that post pops up, then your name pops up in their mind. So there is more in terms of, like, I also like what you're saying, being grounded. You know, being grounded. And that could be what this generation is missing, because we are moving so fast. We want to do 2 posts a day. We want to build, we've talked about the aspect of following. I want to have so many followings, and I really like how you're putting it, like it is beyond following. Why don't you have your content or have whatever it is that you're sharing, whether it is your opinion, you're an authority or an expert in your space, just invite 2 people, 10, who it will transform and will remember you, rather than maybe chasing numbers. But again, numbers.
Yeah, I can add something that I noticed. Sorry to interject.
It's okay.
When we started doing our spaces or our community conversation in 2018, and then last year, I needed a break, honestly.
Yeah.
I needed me, so I can say we did a few spaces from weekly spaces, and sometimes people will call me and be like, we just only had like 200 people joining the space. For me, I'm like, those are so many people.
Let's put them in a room like this. I don't know how, that's 200.
And then I tell them, don't worry, people will come and because it's a record, it's like a podcast on X Spaces. People will listen. And then 3 days later, we'll be like, oh, that listening hit 2,000 listeners. How did you do it? I'm like, people know there are some conversations that happen of such every time. And they know the value they're going to get out of it. So they will always search for that. And I think that is one of the things sometimes we forget. And this is where I think also it changes from you posting content, those daily content, to you building conversations like this one. People love conversations. It's good to do the post, but people love conversations. And I can always go back to a conversation back in 2018 and listen if it's impactful now. So always look at it from that point of view. If I'm going to build this long-term impact, that brand that stays and lives, what kind of conversation that is going to help in that future? And if I think of 5 years down the line, well and good.
Wow, I like that. Now, when it comes to also just, of course, as professionals, we want to position out there so that we attract jobs. So like we talked about, now people, opportunities are finding us online. So, well, there could be the need to establish as an authority within your space, within your space. So we've talked about maybe posting, building conversations. But how do I build authority in space? I mean, HR, I want to build, I want to be the go-to person. Because again, with the competition, we will be looking for the best out of the best. How do I build authority? Using my voice, using my skills, using my unique identity, especially, and manage to stand out in this crowded space.
When we started, I think I talked about competition. We compete a lot. I think maybe it was an offline conversation.
No, it was here, competition.
We put our minds from a competition point of view so much. And then we forget that this, I usually say the industry is so small. Very small. So and so knows so and so. And imagine if you decide to work like an island. Do you think people will ever give you opportunities? So I usually say find sessions. As a person who is in the digital marketing space, comm space, sometimes I find myself in rooms where we have similar experts. Those are very good at what they do. But the question I usually ask myself is this: if I'm here and we are 20 of us, and if a client had to come and they will like, we are all going to,
you're all experts,
the interview. But what makes me stand out? What am I helping with other experts that they don't have? One of the things that we lose out a lot is how we can feed into each other. There are some HR professionals who are so good when it comes to public speaking. There are some, they're very good at what they do, but when it comes to speaking in front of people, they can't do it. So how do you feed into each other? Sometimes opportunities come out of feeding into each other. It's just like the brain. When you're so hungry, how does your body react?
Tired, want food.
That system alarm.
Yeah,
Something is wrong.
Wrong. You need to eat.
So when something is wrong, don't go out and look first for those people who have no business to do with what you do.
Yeah.
Look for the people who are doing exactly what you do. Because these are the people who are going to help you understand, okay, we are all doing the same. But how do I position myself to be identified as the main voice among everyone?
Yeah.
And if I'm not going to be just the main one, how am I going to be the second option? But there are so many people think being the second option is a bad thought. Second option is good because there are so many people who are first option, but they are unreachable. So what do we usually do? Think about the second person. So it's good sometimes to be the second thought.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Maybe you ask me to refer you someone, and then you'll be like, I know this person, but the last time we had an engagement, it didn't go well. Do you have another person?
Wow.
Yeah. So always sometimes think about yourself from the first, second, third, 3 positions. If I can't be the thought leader, the first to be thought about, because top leaders most of the time is the top of mind.
Yes.
The people who come first, but first doesn't mean number 1. First can mean first top 10. That's how I usually view it.
Wow.
If you're looking for example, if you're looking for someone who is doing training, there are so many of us who are doing training out here. Yeah. But someone will be like, I need 5 trainers. And then you had just 1 because you're thinking of that
just
authority
one
number
person,
1.
Yeah.
Others will miss out the opportunity.
Yeah.
So how can you put yourself in people's mind to learn that you can be the first thought? And let me give you a way I usually do this. I have 3 tiers of people and how I level myself and people. There are people who are starting.
Yes.
There are people who want to be like you.
Wow.
These people have nothing to lose if they think about you first. They have 0, nothing. So they will think about you first. There are these people who know you, at the same time they are also trying to grow. These are people actually you feed also, at the same time, quote unquote, they are your competitors, but they can be your collaborators too. There are these people, the tier number 1, they are in your same level, you're competing the same, but at the same time, sometimes you wish, Nani is leaving brand A. I would like her to recommend me. Hata kama ni referral, like there's an opportunity here. Can you can you send your CV to be interviewed?
Yeah.
Such can change so much. But that means we have to find a level of collaboration so that at the end of the day, top of mind doesn't mean a lot of visibility without nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I think that's very important. You know, just even if you can't be the first, you can always be the second. But a lot of visibility without value is actually a killer.
It's nothing. It's just like
nothing.
making noise in a funeral.
Yeah. So you have to, even if you're coming top of mind, then again, what value do you?
Yeah, what value? It goes back to the values we talked about, the help, the kindness. I think most of the things really narrow down to us as a human being.
Beyond
the
cameras, the social media.
Yeah, beyond that title.
Yeah.
Who are you? What do you do? How do you feed into people? How are you quick to help someone? Because most of the time, some of us actually, our friends, if you have to like select, I ask you, give me 1 friend you would like to go with on vacation.
Yeah.
Which parameter will you use to select them?
Of course, someone will make me have more fun.
Thank you.
Who are free, you know. Yeah.
They're just themselves, and you can see beyond that mask.
Yeah.
Because I believe every human being has their own mask.
Of course.
It depends on when do you remove it and who do you remove it to. And that's why some of our friends, when they come to our house, kaa kwa hiyo kiti until you talk. There are some, they'll be like, can I wash you? Actually, you don't even have to tell them. They'll wash you.
That's true.
There are some who will be like, oh, I would like to take a shower. They will confidently, and you'll be like, okay for them to do that.
Wow.
So that is how we deal with everything. So even if it's in space, collaboration, as much as I can say, be open to, there's sometimes you have to be selfish, by the way. It's okay. It's okay to be selfish. And being selfish sometimes helps you to understand that there's some people, we usually call them in Swahili kupe, like kupe. There are people who want to drink from your cup so many times, but they don't want to refill it.
Refill it, yeah.
So always the people that you are going to connect and collaborate with, let them be people who also fill your cup when it's half empty.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very great conversation right there. Now, I would like to ask you, I know we have so many social media platforms. Yeah, so many of them. And sometimes I see, especially when we are building our brands, irrespective of where we are at. You've talked about the 3 categories where maybe you're just starting out, you're there in between, or you're the creme de la creme. In your experience, can you actually establish a voice or an authority in all platforms at a go? And will there be a place where somebody is outside there looking for a job or an opportunity, either consultancy, is there a specific social media platform that you'll say maybe X is good for this is good for this, if you want this, be more present on Facebook, XYZ, like, is there a specific social media platform for specific, maybe if it is a job, we say it is like, now it is LinkedIn, if it is Facebook, does it work like that, or nowadays in the space where we are, opportunities are everywhere?
If you asked me this question back before COVID-19, I would have told you a totally different thing. But right now, if you look at the ecosystem, it has changed. Online is our other home, our other ecological niche. That is where we're operating. That's where we are all the time. We are scrutinizing stuff. We are scrolling through things. And look at the different platforms. Yes, they were here for specific reasons when they were starting. When they were starting, right now, they sound similar. They almost look the same. All of them are thinking of monetization. All of them are building professionals. All of them are building businesses. So the question is, which one works for you?
Wow.
Yeah. And which one, all of them can work for you. Actually, all platforms work for everyone, some people. But again, ask yourself, which one can I give more value or more time to grow? And the best way to grow your brand on these platforms is pick at least 1 or 2 platforms. You feel like it's easier for you to connect, to build, to grow, so that you can center your personal brand there. And once it has started to expand, feed now the other platforms. You remember, I think it was Form 2 physics lesson, Form 1, Form 2. I think we did it in science. When we there's a cylinder and then it has holes. And then you have other tanks. When this tank fills, it fills the other one. Start with one main tank that will be so comfortable with you. Once it fills, now try to feed into the others. So that at the end of the day, you have your personal brand, or you have your brand. Your name is, if people go to LinkedIn, they will find you as Nellie, as Janet Machuka. Not they will find you as Jenny Machuks on Facebook. On Instagram, you are Jamie. And on Twitter, you are Janet Machuka. On LinkedIn, you are Janet with the other 3 names. So find a way you can do that. Learn which platforms work. So there are some platforms which will work for some creatives better than the others. So always do your research. That's what I usually say. And the best way to do your research is to ask people already in that space. And that's how you'll know.
I think I like that, because there's a lot of also confusion. Again, of course, the truth is the type of content you would post on LinkedIn is different from what you can post on TikTok, even in terms of the formats and all that. You know, you can take a whole entire LinkedIn post and maybe put it on TikTok, because now TikTok is more video oriented. The same thing, the same voice you're using on LinkedIn may not be the same on Facebook. So I like the fact that you're saying that you identify which one works for you, and of course you filter up A before it starts to filter up B, C, and D. Wow. So I want to ask a question again, and my question is about our information that is on social media. Because I know when we were starting, we were just saying that, again, the person I was 10 years ago is not the person I am today. But there may be posts. Of course, there are posts. If I still go to my Facebook or wherever,
That's so me.
there are those posts that maybe after just you finished your high school
Yeah.
and all that, they are still there. And maybe you might have given opinion about something that will affect you. Yeah, so I'm bringing in the aspect of the conversation, the paradox rather, that we are being told that, you know, what if your employer search you, post that you posted 10 years ago will still affect your employability. I mean, isn't that bias? And again, how does that work in a real life scenario? Yeah, how does that work? Can we, some of that social media never forgets. So if you posted 10 years ago, if you delete it, does social media still remember?
Oh, that's a good question. Wow. I've not had the worst kind of post on social media. And I think it narrows down also to my background on why I became, how I knew social media. And I think from a media perspective, I usually say that some people who have gone through media classes really understand the media ethics. So sometimes they have an upper hand on how to treat the media, because at the end of the day, media is about reputation.
Yeah, reputation.
And there's someone who has never been to class. He doesn't understand media ethics. So he doesn't understand that this thing can affect me and how can it affect me. But again, I want us to be genuine with this conversation. If you look at how we have grown, the digital platforms, and look at the generations, and look at your real life, for us millennials, we are very lucky. Most of the funny things we did never came to light. Yeah, you know, we never used to post
because again,
them.
maybe social media usage at that time.
At that time, it was not a thing. It was not our daily life. We are into the younger generation who literally live, drink, eat, do everything on social media.
True.
We can't compare, honestly. We can't compare. So it means, to some extent, we also need to change how our thought process is when it comes to how do we make our judgment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you have to go back to the kind of girl you used to be, maybe you are, for example, if you were a bully, you never want someone to ever drag you back and call you a bully. You changed.
Of course.
Human beings change. Human beings grow. And I think that is part of the growth process. So I think at this point, from my personal opinion, I'll come to the professional one.
Yeah.
From my personal opinion, I'll say this. It's very hard for me to think of something I posted 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Honestly, I have no time and luxury to go and peruse all that time to just see, what did I say? You might come across it and then bring it to light, which is what social media now does.
10 years ago today, you know?
Yeah.
When Facebook reminds you.
But let's just sometimes be conscious of the fact that people grow and outgrow some things.
Yeah.
Can we just let that be? Yeah. And I think sometimes it becomes an issue where now the professional feels like, yeah, it has come to light. How do I handle this? And I think that is one of the things that really make us scared to post some things, to share some opinions.
Yes, because it will be used against you, and social media, we are told, does not forget. So one day if I'm applying for a position, then I get into that interview or boardroom, then it plays.
So again, I'll say this, sometimes it's good to, as much as you have never even been in that position where you posted something, sometimes imagine yourself in that scenario. Because sometimes I've come to understand you HR professionals ask such questions. You boxers, you're like, so what do I respond? You have never been in such a situation, but they ask, what will you do? So I think it's more of understanding that social media has the good and has the bad. When you're learning it and using it as a professional, always look at the possibilities. Yeah, something can go wrong when you least expect it.
Absolutely.
The question is, do you have a brand crisis plan? Yes. How will you handle that crisis? There are people, and I think that is why you find that some of us go through a crisis we never anticipated. Of course, don't anticipate for it. We never expected. Let me use expected. And then we choose, I'm quitting digital.
Imagine.
Delete everything and choose not to be on this digital world. But there's another person who will be like, anything can happen. So if it happens,
And
how
it
am
can
I
happen
able,
to anyone.
Yeah, how am I able to stay even
Wow.
if this thing would
love
have
that.
affected me in 1, 2, or 3? I think right now I'll say for some of us who are training on digital personal branding, we shouldn't only focus on the glamour bit of it. Sometimes it's good to teach and train about the ugly side. If it gets to a point that you're part of the ugly side, how do you pull yourself up? How do you go back to the you? How do you go past something? Because there's some things that can be trauma to some people.
Yeah.
So, and from a professional point of view, I'll say this. An opinion is an opinion. And honestly, everybody has an opinion.
Yeah. And free to give their
And
opinion.
free to give their opinion.
Yeah.
Some opinions might not really work for other people.
Yeah.
They might rub people wrongly.
Yeah.
If it's an apology, go back and do what?
Apologize. Wow.
But if the apology will mess everything, and actually does that all the time on social media, find a way to keep quiet. Yeah.
Janet, I really like what you've said about changing how we also make our judgment. And I like how you brought it out, especially on the generational beat. I mean, we have a generation that now lives on social media. And we had another generation, even maybe before the millennials, that it was not a thing for them. We didn't even think that one day someone will tell me in an interview that this is what you posted in 1962 or when, I mean, and it was my personal life. So I'm also wondering what is it that it has to do with I really like that. And I think maybe at this point, I'll just like to call in our viewers again. Have you ever been scared about posting anything on social media because you feared how it will be used to judge you? And again, has it ever happened to you? Have you ever maybe been in a place or a space where you lost an opportunity, be it a job, a business contract, a business deal, a consultancy assignment, because someone just said, you know what, we checked your social media and look what you posted. Yeah, so let us know. But I really love how you're actually bringing it, which is very important. That change of perception, even to the employers. I mean, sometimes let's extend grace. Let's extend grace.
Imagine if I can do my work perfectly. Why are we talking about things I did 10 years ago?
I'm talking now to maybe a 28-year-old, and I want to make judgment on a post that they did 6 years ago. They must have been 22, out of campus, confused. They have not discovered themselves and all that.
And there's this aspect of, and I think that is now narrows down to exposure. One of the things some of us have to learn through exposure. There are things you thought some of us grew up in the village, we thought the horizon is the end of the world. We went through primary, there's another map called Kenya.
Africa,
the world. That exposure sometimes is what we miss out. So extend some grace. And if you look at the now, I think people are so innovative and creative. High chances are you're hiring that person because of that.
Absolutely.
Innovation, creativity. So imagine 10 years ago, you were not even innovative, you had no idea anything to do. And you didn't know you're going to bring a lot of value to the company that now you're trying to get into. But at the same time, I feel like at the end of the day, I'll say this. It's always narrowed down to the value the brand has and the value the individual has. So how you're presenting yourself on digital, and that's why we teach personal branding, let that value align with the kind of brands you attract and you would like to attract. So be mindful. The moment you realize that, actually you'll be mindful on how you share something. And if you share an opinion, you'll be mindful to just say, this is just my thought process, but I will welcome for a conversation. So at the end of the day, it wouldn't be like you just want to box people and to think about whatever you said and that's it.
I love that. I want you to talk to us a little bit about social media ethics that you've touched on. Which is a missing link, especially now. Because sometimes we don't even think about what you're posting, as we've said, how we bully people, say anything to anyone, because it's a free space, you can say anything. So when it comes to social media ethics and maybe maintaining a professional image, and maybe just in this case, still being employable. Now, in your experience or as an expert in that space, when it comes to ethics, what are some of the gaps that you see and some of the things that people take so lightly that are likely to cost us opportunities?
Wow. I have been someone who's been attacked, abused so many times on some of the things that I share and post. And one of the things that I've really learned and kept in mind is that I have values as an individual.
Yes.
Yeah. And these values, I don't want, they are triggering responses, honestly, sometimes.
Of course.
And sometimes, look at the economy in Kenya. Sometimes you read something, you become so angry to a point that the way you are angry in your head and how you feel is how you want to project in the comment or rather in the post. So you don't think about language, you don't think about obscenity, you don't think about that aspect of, do I want to communicate or do I want to stir people more? Yeah, how do I want to be viewed? I'll say this, and this is what I practice at times. If you feel like you're about to make something that you wouldn't take back, because social media, the moment the word is out, you know, it's very hard to take it back.
To take it back, yeah.
You can't swallow it.
No, you can't.
Look for someone you can call, someone you're so comfortable and confident with. Talk about that thing. Speak in the manner that you wanted. Say those most derogative words that you wanted. And this is somebody who should be like, you understand yourself, you too, in a certain level. After you are done, now ask yourself this question. So now I'm going to publish to this entire world, not even nation, world. How would I like to be represented and remembered after this? I know people will react in their own manner, but is there a way I can post and react in a presentable and respectful manner? So at the end of the day, I don't have to come out as abusive. I don't have to come out as somebody who is attacking someone directly, but in a way that I'm also channeling this opinion to a specific issue that is touching on me. For example, right now, we had these schools issues in Kenya, and we are so pissed off.
The grade 10s and all that.
It's so pissing off. And then a leader wakes up and says something, and you're like, really?
Really?
Like, really? Do you even listen? Do you even see us? Some of us will go online and become with that, really? You know, because we are so agitated. We go ahead and do that. But someone else will be like, honestly, this education system would have been, this approach would have been different. What if? So the question is, before you become super mad, are you offering any solution, any suggestion?
Thank you.
And I think the moment you start answering yourself from that point of view, it gives you a chance to write something, even if it's an opinion, from a point of, you really want to understand people's thoughts. Not you want to rage bait other people, to talk, to be angry. What's the essence of 1 million people being angry? They will go to the street and the next thing will start the mandamano, and maybe sometimes you might not have a specific goal for that. So what's that way that you can approach something so that it can be easily tackled instead of rage bait for just a very short moment? It's the same way, for example, when we are sick. Have we ever been given peremende?
Given brufen.
Like you always have to get something it tastes bitter if you put it in your mouth, but it's what? It's medicine. So how can you take that medicine so that you can heal and you can heal the other people? And the healing starts from how, anger is something that can make you do so many bad things. But the healing is now what we usually call happiness and easy thinking, and then you think from a conscious point of view. And then maybe lastly, I'll say this. We usually keep on saying ignore. Do you know there's some people who constantly do that to ensure that they have numbers? And then after 3 years, because they have baited you guys, they have abused you, they have numbers, now they change, they are professionals. I've seen such a lot.
So they'll bully someone.
They bully people to attract the audience. They grow the numbers and then suddenly they drop them. They drop now the bullying and everything.
So
they
now they
decide to be
rebrand and use that
professionals.
account. Oh yes,
It happens, by the way.
So should we ignore, especially now that you're in the limelight? Someone can decide to comment anything, everything. So how do you handle that, especially now? You also don't want to. You want to remain, if I have to react in a way that if my potential employer sees I don't lose an opportunity, how do you deal with that?
One thing I usually do is this. Sometimes I post something I really want us to converse, and then someone comes from nowhere, and I said understanding aspects of people and content is different. Someone understands it in a totally different way, and then they are digressing. You appreciate how they are thinking. Sometimes appreciating doesn't mean, oh, they are so good. You just want to kill that aspect of animosity and push and pull between you, because you want to have a gentle ground, at least sometimes, to understand, what do you mean by what you said, or did you really understand my point? So sometimes appreciate their thinking, and after appreciating their thinking, continue and ask them, what did you understand by this? Or I understand where you come from, but maybe you didn't understand the approach of my thought process. Would you like a conversation? That is, if you have time. If you don't have time, leave it. But again, it's easy to note people were there for the information and people were there just for the dragging. If you have time, you respond in that manner, and then they decide to still drag you down. There's no need for such a conversation. Some people do this. When you're so influential and so good at what you do, they look for a way, they make you angry so that you can stoop low to their level.
Wow.
And this level, I mean, so that you can be back and forth.
Think like that.
And once they get you there, they will screenshot and use it to say, and I think maybe it's because I've learned it on X, it's tough. That's what I think. X, they do that a lot. They rage bait you to respond, and the moment you do, even if you are going to delete it in the next 1 minute, screenshot Ishaenda. So I always ask, and I think that goes back to the kind of community that you ground each other among, the kind of people you talk to, and then sometimes if you have friends who can easily call you the moment they see the post and tell you, what are you posting? What is this?
Yeah, people can actually look at you in the eye and say,
be like, no, this is not
you. Yeah.
We don't know you like this. There was a time I think I posted political, I think, when was it? I don't remember. It didn't even take 1 minute. Someone was in my DM. It's like, Janet, can you first delete whatever you are posting and then we can talk? I'm like, what? And then I thought he was the only person. So I was like, let me just leave it and see what's the reaction. The moment it got 5 people DMing me, I knew this is not me. They're like, Janet, no, this is not how we know you. So sometimes the people you grow with as a community act like your security guards. Sometimes you don't know what is good for you anymore, because at times you might be so much into your head, you think that finally I need my opinion. When you grow your influence and authority in a specific area, professionally, sometimes you stop representing just you. You represent so many other people who actually cling to that reputation you have. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So that when they mention, I know Janet Machuka, the faces brighten.
10 years. Yeah.
Not, Janet Machuka, like, what?
That lady. Oh my goodness. This is an interesting conversation, and I'm learning. I like the fact that sometimes you don't have to, people will want to comment something bad on your post just to bring you down, start a fight, see how you're going to react. And of course, again, take those screenshots very quickly and use it against you. So this has been an interesting conversation, Janet. I know we may not explore everything around social media, and especially how professionals can leverage this to either break or make their careers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I believe from this conversation, I've picked key lessons as a person. I love the fact of not just showing up. I like the fact we've discussed about authenticity, even in the era of AI evolution and many, competition. Everyone wants to be the top, like we are saying, if you're searched, are you gonna come the top? But I like how you're bringing it down to just, can you just impact one person? Can you just impact 2 people instead of looking to impact 1,000,000? So I would like to bring this conversation to a close, but before I do, I want you to just share with us, I want to call it a best practice maybe, or just what are some of the things when it comes to even social media ethics that you'll just advise a professional out there, they might have regret their previous actions on social media, how they've used it, they feel they're there, but it's not helping them. Because we've talked about getting opportunities online now. And we are in the era where you may not even need connections, because potential employers will see you everywhere. Yeah, so I want to just to share with us then what are some of the irreducible minimums if we have to use this social media to our advantage, especially in just getting those jobs, getting those business deals, or getting those consultancy assignments, and just advancing our careers in whatever space. Yeah.
Wow. I would say think different.
Yeah. Can look at the camera.
I would say think different. And by thinking different, I mean sometimes get worried when everyone is applauding what you posted, what you talked about. Because that means you're not having a community of people who challenge you. And the challenge will come from some people will disagree with you.
Yeah.
Some people will try to give you a different perspective of what you said, and some people will ask the questions. And I think this is now narrows down to how does this social media platform ground you to constantly go back to your values? Because the ethics majorly will focus on your values. And these values should come from the conversations people bring in your posts and you bring into their posts. So think different. Think disagreement. Sometimes disagreements are amazing, by the way. When you disagree with people, it unlocks another potential in you. But do it respectfully. Do it in a way that doesn't bruise other people's ego. Everyone has an ego. So don't bruise them if it has to get there. And just maybe to give the last word, when it comes to ethics, most of the time, the major problem comes in when we ask ourselves, what is my main goal of being on the platform? Am I here to just talk and be selfish about myself? Or am I here to impact other people? It's good to grow your influence, but something that I've learned from the non-profit organization space is that data, numbers, figures without impact is useless. So how is that influence you're building going to impact people? Impact sometimes it cannot be actually measured. I usually feel so.
Yeah.
Because you can't go and ask someone, how do you feel? And they come and tell you. There's some data that will miss out in there. Will just disappear in between. So what is that impact that you are leaving? I don't want you to be another person, be like, oh, by the way, Nani is no longer there. Who? Who are you talking about? They can't even figure out who you are, what mark you left there. So, and something else, just to close this, I'll say this. It's okay to aim higher, which is amazing. But do you know sometimes we look at the top only. We forget that in between, there are so many people who are there who need your help. There are so many businesses who are there who need you. There is so much that you need to learn. There's a reason to why we have stairs. If you want to take a lift, you will get to the rooftop. If you want to take the stairs, you will get to the rooftop. But who will have more learning?
The one who uses the stairs.
The one who uses. Why?
Because it's a process.
It's blood and sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So social media is, when you're building your brand, look at it from your blood and sweat. Things will work out, will be glamorous at times. There are times it will be very bad and you will just need a break. If that needs to get there, do it. If sometimes your positive impact conversations are not having that attraction of what you used to, doesn't mean you need to change the way you approach it and go with the aspect of being so abusive, using derogative words and from content to be able to garner that. Understand that a brand and your presence is something that you're going to have for the rest of your life. Until that day, your heartbeat will stop. So it's a process. Give it time. Live it actively and presently.
Wow. It's a process. Live it actively and presently. Thank you so much, Janet. I wish we could continue with this conversation more and more. But for today, I would like to bring it to a close. But of course, we'll still have you in this channel if you honor me again with your presence. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. And of course, Janet will just also share with them if anyone wants to reach out to you. Yeah, for training, maybe for consultancy on social media and the digital space. Maybe you can just share how people can reach you.
Oh, sure. You can use, the best way is to search through my janetmachuka.com. www.janetmachuka.com, because I think there's a page where you can be able to fill out and then it will send you to my email directly. But in case you need my email, it's info@janetmachuka.com, just that. But either way, I'm available on LinkedIn, I'm available on X, I'm available in all the social media platforms. You can always reach out via DM.
Thank you so much. If you've come with us until this time, guys, thank you. And I hope this conversation has added value to you as it has to me. So please, if you're here, make sure that you subscribe, make sure you share this content. Of course, we'll also love for you to just comment and tell us which is the next face that you'll want to see in, or rather on this podcast, and what are some of the pressing workplace related conversations or topics that you want us to bring in the next episodes. So thank you for watching and see you again in the next episode. Thank you.